Hey, what's up, tourists? It's Drake, that big bearded American tourist. I'm a little tired. I'm still in the bunker. It's been 3 weeks. They rushed me out 3 weeks ago by now. Jesus Christ, has it been that long? I'm still wearing the same clothes. There's not a lot of food left at this point, but they figured it's just not safe for me to come out yet. So, if you're wondering why this is now the third video in a row, I'm wearing the exact same clothes in the same location. It's because they haven't let me out yet. My security team just advises me that after my last video about Morocco, it was just too dangerous, and they kept me down here. So I'm sorry if I act a little tired or batty, but it's just starting to get to me. So I figured while I was down here, I might as well do the last of my breakout Morocco series on travel tips. And I think they're important to know. I'm going to try to pep it up in just a second. I'm going to just take a quick break here, but as usual, I'll have some sponsors coming up after this, and you guys want to put the title card up and we'll get rolling? I'll be right back, guys. Yeah, right now is fine. Thanks. Today's Big Bearded American Tourist has been brought to you in part by Spaghetti Hat. Are you a busy executive? Are you on your way to a theater? Going to see an opera? Don't have time for dinner? Don't worry about it. With new Spaghetti Hat, dinner goes with you. Eat dinner with class with Spaghetti Hat. And, nope, take it down. What the hell, man? We've gone over this so many times. I don't want to do that kind of humor. I don't find it funny. And I think it might be a little bit, no, I don't care. Yeah, nope, just give me something softer. Fuck, man, you know what I'm talking about, not that soft. What the hell is wrong with you, Alan? I cannot believe we're still having this. Ha, that's fucking great. Great callback. You realize no one knows what the hell that is, right? Like, literally no one knows what that is. It's just a word you made up. It's terrific. No, take it down. Take it all down. You know what? Fuck it. I'm not doing anymore. I don't care. Leave the screen blank. God damn it, Alan. Really? Doesn't matter to me? Nope, they can fast forward if they want to. Yep, I'm not doing another one. We'll just sit here until you're ready to put up the fucking title card, and then we can get on with the show. All right, a little better. Okay, guys. So we're gonna go over some travel tips for Morocco. And the first one is good for Morocco, but it's good for everywhere in general when you're traveling over in Asia and Morocco. Europe, not so much, because it's a different story over there. They use the euro in most places. So bottom line is this is not going to be applicable to necessarily the euro places. But money, you're going to need it. Not just credit cards, but a lot of locations require cash, especially in the Medinas. They're not going to have credit card systems set up, although surprisingly some do. Like some Medina shops surprisingly have credit cards. One of the things you're going to be like, oh, I don't have enough money for it. And they're like, oh, we have a credit card machine. And they do. So some of them do, but you need cash. So the question becomes, how do you get it? Now, some people suggest you go to the bank ahead of time and grab cash there. So you can grab Moroccan dirham. You just got to call your bank. It's got to be a bank that will do money exchanges. However, it is pretty damn expensive to do. They charge you a fee. So there's the actual conversion fee. You're going to lose or gain money depending on the conversion, but that's usually negated or added onto based on the actual fees the bank charges, which are pretty hefty. So I don't necessarily advise that. Now, the second way to go about it is ATM machines. Now, I know that doesn't sound like a good idea, and it turns out in Morocco it was definitely not. Some locations weren't so bad that I've been to in Europe. Like Lisbon wasn't bad. I did the ATMs there. But anyway, at Morocco, it was really expensive. So the conversion fee, so you're gonna go up to an ATM, it's gonna link up to your bank, and then they're going to charge you on the end in Morocco the money, the cost, the conversion fees, and then a convenience fee. And then they do the same thing on the way back when you're in America. So you're talking about to take out amount of money, and the amount is based, like your charges are based off of the amount. So if you're taking out 1,000 dirham, it's going to be a little bit less than it would cost to take out 3,000 dirham, but it's still going to be expensive to do that. And then again, they charge you again on the way in America. So to take out 1,000, which is like $100, might cost you $10. And that might not sound like that much, but that adds up super fast. And it actually is a lot because you're going to need a lot more than $100 in Morocco. So it's expensive to take it out of the ATM. If you're on the spot, it might not be that bad. It was this way in Thailand too. And this is where I learned this trick when I was in Thailand. But money exchanges in the country. So when I was in Thailand, they actually had money exchanges, and I did not go anywhere near them because they do not look legit. But it turns out they are. And not only are they legit, but it was the best. Like, I couldn't believe it. I had my phone on me with the app that had the conversion between American and TBBAT, and the guy gave me the exact amount. In other words, I gave him $100, and he gave me $100 worth of TBBAT. There was zero transaction fees, zero conversion fees. It was just dead on. I have no idea how they made any money on that transaction based on the exact amount for that moment. So when you're in Morocco, try to find locations that have money exchanges, because that's going to be your best bet. If not, then you might want to go the ATM route. So money exchange locations. But of course, before you do that, double check what the rates are and if they do charge you or not. Little pro tip on this: stay the fuck away from the airport ATMs, or airport ATMs. Anywhere you go are much, much more expensive, and I would not do money exchanges in the airports themselves. Those places will rip you off. Get out of there and into the city. Check out banks and check out money exchange locations and see how much it costs. That's your best bet when it comes to Morocco, but also anywhere else you go in Europe or Asia. Next, when it comes to traveling around Morocco, make sure you bring antibacterial, the waterless hand soap with you everywhere you go. Bring toilet paper everywhere you go. And I would suggest bringing some kind of medicine with you just in case, wherever you go, something for your stomach to settle it. I talk about this a lot in one of my other videos, but they do not provide toilet paper in most locations. In some places, they only give you a hole in the ground to go into. If you do find a place with toilet paper, there's a good chance they're going to charge you, because a lot of places charge you, which is why you're going to bring loose change with you, the coin dirham. I always have the small denomination coin dirham with you wherever you go in case you need to use the toilet, and toilet paper. Medicine, because there's a shot you might get sick in one of these locations, and you're not going to have to search around for a place. Just bring like Pepto-Bismol or whatever, Imodium or something like that in pill forms. Get a backpack full of like little stuff like that. Trust me, this is a huge tip. It's a small one, but it's a huge one. Very important. Make sure you research local laws and customs. Don't get caught off guard. The laws and customs and religious rules are going to be quite different in a country like Morocco. It's obviously Muslim mostly, and they have strict rules in some places, looser in others. Some quick examples: in Marrakesh, anything goes. Women are allowed to ride scooters. Women and men ride scooters up and down the Medinas, and that's kind of not a sight you see anywhere else around that I've seen. Fez, Rabat, Chefchaouen, you don't really see that. In the mountains, they tend to be a lot stricter with religion. Women shouldn't be walking around with their hair exposed. You can't walk around with like your knees, your like elbows, all that other stuff. There's like, just be careful. It's different everywhere you go, which is super important. You don't want to disobey their culture. You want to be respectful of it. Just pay attention to that. Everywhere you go, find out what the local laws and customs are. It may or may not be safe for women to travel alone. Just pay attention to that too. The call to prayer. You're going to hear this several times a day. There are different prayers each time. They will stop what they're doing for the most part, obviously, as you probably know, and do their prayers. There are mosques all over the place. It will catch you off guard even if you are prepared for it. So pay attention to the time of the day. There's one early morning, afternoon, night. I can't remember off the top of my head how many there are. If I figure it out, I'll put it up here. the exact breakdown of it. But get ready for that morning one. It is very early, and when we were staying in Saleh, it was scary as fuck. Like, no lie, it will wake you right up. It's so loud. It's depending how far away you are from one of the mosques, because they have amplifiers in the mosques speaker systems. But the people, not only does the mosque do it, the people all around you will do it, and it's otherworldly scary waking up from sleep to that. And during the daytime and stuff like that, it can be a little bit more surreal and very beautiful in a lot of ways. Just the morning one to be really careful about. Each prayer is different. I don't know the Arabic or what they're saying, but they're different prayers for different times of the day. But just pay attention to that and be respectful of it, obviously.
We should have split. This is too much. But I'll be hungry later.
Beware local scams. There's a lot of scams in Morocco, just like there is everywhere around the world. There are fake tour guides, which you should never use unless they're an official tour guide with a actual ID card showing you they're official. You will get the scam of, this place is closed. This place is closed. You'll be walking around and you want to go, you're going a certain direction, and you'll hear this, oh, that mosque is closed, that museum is closed, and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't even know you. Why are you talking to me? He's like, the museum is closed right now. Come with me. You come here. I'll show you this place. And it's like, no, like, what the fuck are you talking about? So this actually happened to us on a few different occasions. If you're going down a certain direction and you are heading towards a landmark, you will always find people that are telling you it's closed, and they're trying to get you to go somewhere else. Well, it turns out, no, they're not closed. This actually happened to me in Thailand also, now that I think about it. So it's not just Morocco, but it was prevalent in Morocco. So pay attention to that. If you don't know the person, don't talk. They're going to engage you in a conversation. So like once they start to talk to you, like if you start walking down the street, they're going to be like, that's closed. And if you ignore them, they're like, excuse me, sir, that's closed. Like they're going to engage and engage and engage. If you pay attention to them and answer back, they got you, they'll keep going. You just got to ignore them. I know it seems weird and maybe even a little rude, but trust me, they're about to take you somewhere else. Maybe it's not legitimate, maybe with even worse intentions and just showing you another place that they're going to get a kickback from taking you. So don't do those. The luggage scam, the luggage hauler scam, I went into another video. When you arrive in your destination, this happened with Marrakesh, and you're trying to find the place where you're staying, they're going to come up to you and offer to take your luggage and not disclose the price. When you get to the location, they're going to charge you an outrageous amount. I knew about this ahead of time, but I was so tired and worn out, and that police officer pointed us in the direction of these people, so we stupidly just said fine. They took us just a few feet up a little bit, and they wanted 50 euros, and they demanded it. It became like an argument, a fight, and I refused to give it to them, and it was a big fucking thing. 50 euros, which by the way is 5,000 baht, which is insanity. Like, 5,000 dirham, which is absolute crazy for going just a few feet up. We just happened to miss the place, which is why we had to head back, and they found us again, and the police officer said, they'll show you where it is. So if you do decide to get a luggage hauler, negotiate the price ahead of time. Do not ever go into that without getting the price ahead of time. All right, let's talk about bartering really quick. I do have a whole video about that, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. The bottom line is this: you go to the Medina, the first time out, do not buy anything but food, like eating it right away. Don't buy anything else. You're going to do a soup of the Medina, go all the way up and down, note the things that you want to get, talk to the people, find out what the base price is, because the prices vary wildly between locations in the Medina. Saying that's 20 dirham one place will be 200 in another place. That's $2 versus $20. So walk all the way around, figure the stuff you like, ask for prices, and then go back around to the place that has the cheapest, and then start bartering from there. These are the exact same things in all these locations. It's all the same stuff with exception of artists and stuff. So do that, and then when you barter, always go very low regardless. So if it's 200, then you're going down to start at 100. I wouldn't go lower than 50%, but it's up to you if you want to. They're going to try to get you to meet basically in the middle. But watch my other video on advice how to stay at 100 or even lower in some cases, and I highly suggest you do that. It's going to save you a lot of money. Bartering is super tricky in Morocco. It's a sport, it's a game, and it's their lifestyle. You need to beat them at it. You need to study and be prepared, so watch that video. All right, where to visit? It's going to be up to you. Do your research ahead of time. I was told Casablanca is like a really gross place, so I didn't go there. The whole idea of why people go there is supposed to be romantic because of Rick's Cafe and all that other stuff. Turns out it's not. The place is supposed to be gross, and Rick's Cafe is not anything like it's supposed to be. It's just this like hole in the wall type of a place, and it's just not a big deal. So I didn't bother with Casablanca. I did not stay in Rabat. Rabat was actually nice and clean. I would recommend potentially staying in Rabat. I stayed in a place called Saleh, which was outside of Rabat by not too far. It's walking distance. We got a better price and a really nice riad there. We went to Chefchaouen after that, which I highly recommend. Chefchaouen is absolutely stunningly beautiful. It's so far out of the way though. You have to, it's like, I think it was 6 hours to drive up to it. So you really have to plan ahead because it's so far out of the way. But Chefchaouen is well worth the visit. There are some beautiful mountains out there you get to climb. Check those out with a guide. Outstandingly amazing, breathtaking views and good exercise in Chefchaouen. Highly recommend that. But look at the map because it's far away. It's also far away on the other side because the other side of that is going to be Fez, and Fez is far away from Chefchaouen again, another like 6 hours I think. Fez is outstanding. I highly recommend Fez. I mentioned this in other videos, but the Medina there is outstanding. There's over 9,000 streets with 4,000 dead ends. So if you visit that, make sure you get a guide to go with you. Do not go to Fez without a guide to take you through the Medina. Marrakesh, as I've said over and over again, is disgusting. It's not a romantic Indiana Jonesy type place. It is just a disgusting hole of despair and people that are fucking awful. They hate Americans. When I was there, it was when the war started with Israel and Palestine, and we were getting screamed at for supporting Israel. I'm like, dude, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, we were getting people yelling at us more than one occasion, and they were just they were rude. And as I mentioned in another video, there was a place there called Haircuts for Hamas, where they used American flags to catch the hair of the people that were getting their haircuts. Fucking disgusting. So I do not recommend Marrakesh. You're going to see other reviews and other people talking about it, saying how awesome it is. I don't have no idea where the fuck they stayed. I stayed in the Medina, and it was awful. Do not recommend it. I did not go to Tangier. However, Tangier looks like it could be cool. So in the order of battle there, you might want to go to Tangier, check that out, head down to Chefchaouen because it's not far, and then maybe go to Fez and then get the fuck out of there, take a plane out of there. But do your research. One of the most beautiful things in Morocco are the Riads. If you don't know what a Riad is, it's a courtyard styled house. Basically imagine a square. In the center of it, the square is courtyard. So it's open air. Like they're literally open air. And then there's usually a pool in the middle. It's a very shallow, not a very deep pool. And there's usually tables for breakfast and all that other stuff around. The rooms are on the sides of the square, and they're lengthwise, they're decent size. Widthwise, they're not. It's not a ton of room, but they can be nice. Also, it's just they tend to be around the corners of the actual building, and so the reason you're going to stay there is because they really don't have anywhere else, as far as I know, and they are beautiful. The architecture is going to blow your mind. It is so nice. The tiling. The fact that you can sit out there and have breakfast in the courtyard outside, there are literally birds flying around and stuff like that. Breakfast at these places is really good. It's very simple. There's like Moroccan pancakes. There's some other types of bread. They give you fresh honey and butter and jams and coffee and orange juice. I forgot to talk about this and other things, but orange juice is huge all over the world, and it is there too. You also get olives all the time, tons of olives. But if you're going to Morocco, go to Riyadh, stay in Riyadh. Do not bother with the hotels. We stayed in a Riyadh every single place we could. And I think that was everywhere. And it was well worth it. And check them out. If you're gonna go online, look at some examples of Riyadhs. Do a lot of research before you find one, because pro tip, some of them are in really horrible locations. Make sure you're in a decent and safe location, and find yourself a nice Riyadh. Look for the reviews. We found a really nice one in Saleh, which was in not the best location, but it wasn't so bad. But the owners were so nice. It was their home. They basically took us in their home. It's like an Airbnb. They made the breakfast for us every day. They were so sweet and so nice. And it was a little bit outside, like I was mentioning, outside of Rabat. So it was less expensive. And they were super grateful because it was off season also. And so they got to have, we were like one of two people in the entire Riyadh. So check out Riyadh, you will not be sorry. Do you want to visit the Sahara Desert? That's the question at hand. When you look at Morocco, the Sahara is actually all over the place, but the bulk of it, what you're really thinking is underneath on the southern part. But the part that the tours go to is on the right-hand side of the country, on the side towards where Fez is and stuff like that. Underneath, between Fez and Marrakesh-ish, is the high Atlas Mountains. That's where those tours tend to go to, in that area of where the Sahara Desert is, the Morocco Desert. So the problem is it's very far from both Fez and Marrakesh. Sorry, I can't remember off the top of my head. It's like 4 to 6 hours maybe each way, from Fez to the desert, from the desert to Marrakesh, or vice versa. It's like 6 hours and 6 hours. So these tours tend to leave one place or the other and goes from Marrakesh to the desert to Fez, or Fez to the desert to Marrakesh, Fez to Fez, Marrakesh to Marrakesh. There's all different tours you can do. So what ends up happening is you go from wherever you're staying. They're going to take you to go see monkeys, and you spend $2 to feed them peanuts. Then you're going to go into some scenic areas that are pass-throughs and stuff like that, where there's people hawking stuff all over the place. but really nice photo opportunities. The Riad they're going to take you to at night on the first night is not nice. You don't have a choice in this. The one we went to was horrible. No hot water. It was a very kind of almost scary area where they obviously hated Americans or foreigners, and they were very apparent about it. Did not feel safe there. And then you get to go to the desert. Now here's the thing. I hate to break your heart, but the photos and the videos you see are taken from very specific angles. You are technically in the Sahara Desert, in the Marzuga Desert, sorry. But you're going to come off of this main road, and they're going to take you by car or camel, depending, into the camps, which aren't far off the main road. You're going to unpack your stuff, and then you're going to take your camel ride, which is pretty cool, into the desert. But it's like maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes in. You're not far from the camp, and you're going to see the sunrise and sunset on the dunes, which is cool. But if you're not, it's like you're going to see buildings and all this other stuff all around you. So you have to angle your camera right to not catch that stuff. In other words, it's not as like this romantic-y, amazing thing as you're picturing. It's like a 10-minute camel ride into the desert, and you're not far from other things, and then the same back. So for a photo op and the chance to say you were in the Sahara, and I was able to grab some sand and bring it back with me and stuff like that, is it worth it? I don't know. I don't know. The tent we stayed in, which was like a quote luxury tent with electricity and had a shower and stuff like that, we went in December and it's fucking cold. When the sun drops in the desert and the sun drops in Morocco, it is very cold, like not freezing cold, but it gets down there. So you have to wrap up and bundle up, especially in the desert. And we had to wear like all our clothes into the bed because there's no heat, and even they don't give you a lot of blankets and stuff like that. It was very cold. We were miserable when we were there. Everything was uncomfortable. So again, it's a personal choice. I did not enjoy it overall. For the photo ops and the chance to say I got to see the sunrise and the sunset and the video and stuff like that, that was cool. Whether it was worth it or not I don't know. I mean, relatively speaking, it wasn't super expensive, but again, it's just, you have this romantic vision of it, and you get there, it's not that. It's like a Hollywood thing. It's just set up. And the worst part about it at all, by the way, the camel ride is cool. Camels are badass. I like that a lot. But the camel people the people that have the camels and they guide you with them and stuff like that, at the very end, it was heartbreaking to see this. Before you're allowed to go back, and remember, you're fucking cold and tired, they pull you off the camel, have you sit on the ground, and then they go, well, this is what we do for work, but this is how we make our money. And then they open up this thing, and they have all kinds of tchotchke shit that you find all over the Medinas. This rip-off stuff that they import from China, like I mentioned in my other videos. Well, now they're hawking it there, and the prices are insane. They're insanely high. Something that was like you'd find it for $2 there. They're trying to get $30 for it, and it's the exact same crap. And they act like they made the things, and I'm like, you did not make this shit. So there's a sales pitch at the end. They're trying to get you to buy that stuff, and then it's like, oh man, you just sucked all the fucking romance out of this whole thing. So I would probably give it a pass, because it takes a long time if you're going to do this trip. You can do it in a day, but to do it accurately, you're going to want at least 2 days. That's 2 days out of your travel plans. And is it worth it or not? My vote is no. So I didn't feel it was worth it in the end. But you're going to make your own choices. I didn't see a lot of negative reviews about it online, so maybe it's just me. But that was my experience. And I got my package through Viator, but it's the same thing on Get Your Guide, the exact same tours. All right, so I got some good news. Security gave me the clearance to get the fuck out of here. Apparently the last of the crowd left. The bunker has been cleared, and I'm allowed to leave. I got to get out of these clothes, man. 3 weeks in the same outfit. I actually lost 20 pounds being here because there's like no food left and I smell horrible. So I gotta go. I gotta get some rest, gotta get some food. Maybe I'll go get a good American burger at Burger King. So Iron Man reference there for you. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for checking out my series on Morocco, and I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry if you live in, have somebody that lives in, or know somebody from Marrakesh, but they live in a horrible fucking place, and Marrakesh is awful. Ask me about Marrakesh. I should wear a badge, but maybe it's just me. Anyway, I've been Drake. This has been that big bear. What's my name? That big bearded American tourist. That's me. And this is my bunker series on Morocco. Peace be with you. See you on the other side.